As a dog parent, you want to document your dog's life so that you have these records to look back on, so that you can share them with your friends and family, and for some of you, to put on social media to share with the world. And as you're documenting your dog's life, there are a couple of things that you can do to make this easier and more effective for yourself. Now, we talk about how to document your dog's life in photos and in videos here on the channel. I'm a professional photographer and videographer of many, many, many years, and I bring you tips from a professional that you can do without the professional knowledge, experience, or equipment to make sure you're leveraging what you have to document your dog as best as possible. And these things are things that I carry around in my purse with me as I'm creating content to make sure I'm always ready to get those really good shots of my pups. So the first thing that I always recommend to people is to have a phone mount. This is a pocket-sized phone mount, fits in most pockets, not girl pockets, I know, but this is a really good way to create steady footage so that you don't have to hand hold your phone. This way it's not shaky, it's not going to be as pixelated, it's not going to be all over the place, and you can interact with your dog while you are doing things and document it. So it's not just you filming your dog, but it's you and your dog on film. So I really like this because it is heavy duty metal. I actually went out with an influencer once and allowed her to borrow this. She did not pick it up off the ground, and I didn't know when I stepped forward to quickly help her with something. I stepped on it and not a scratch. It was amazing. I love this one. Metal makes it a little bit heavier. I'm going to show you another version in a minute that's a lot lighter, which is the one I typically carry with me now. But when I know I'm going out to do things, I will take this version with me. And the beauty of this is that you can fold it up and expand it, put your phone right in it to sit so that it's not shaky, and it will go straight up and down with your phone. Not all phone mounts are created equal. The vast majority of them will have it at a slight angle, meaning it'll be shot up at you guys, and it will not look as professional. So I do recommend doing a little bit of research. The two I'm showing you today do go straight up and down, and they're the ones I recommend to everybody. So it's really nice because you can just set your phone in it. It has little grips on the bottom, so it's not going to slide too much if you're at an angle. And you can move this at any angle to kind of work with the hill that you're trying to set it on, or the flat surface that you're trying to set it on. So this is really nice to be able to carry around and just have that footage either vertical or horizontal so that you can document yourself playing with your dogs, doing fun things, taking pictures while you're out on a walk. All the things that you're going to need can be done with these phone mounts. Now, this plastic version is also really nice. I very much like this one. It does have the grips on the bottom. It has a grip on the phone mount part itself, but it also expands so that you can accommodate an iPad or a tablet of some kind. So you've got a range of possibilities with this one. It is lighter weight. If you step on this one, you'll probably break it, but it's lighter so that you can take it with you as you are traveling. I just keep mine in my purse all of the time so that I can use it whenever I need to. And I've got those two different versions to make my time and effort more effective as I am inputting that into what I am creating and how I'm engaging with my dogs. Because if I can just set it in a phone mount and let it go, then I don't have to be focused on getting the shot and running around chasing my dogs. I can just enjoy being with my dogs. So there's lots of opportunities with that one. And I use it in a multitude of different surfaces. So I'll put it on the ground, I'll put it on something flat, I'll put it on a table, I'll put it on the rungs of a bridge, and it accommodates a lot. Now, another thing you need for elevated content creation is lighting. If you're in your house and it's kind of dark, if it's a stormy day out, it is today, it's dark in my house, so I'm gonna need some better lighting. And I might not want the overhead lighting. Even if I'm outside in the sun, I might need a little pop of light. Or if I'm in like a cafe, if I'm in something with yellow-based light instead of white-based natural light, I'm gonna need to accommodate those lighting sources. And so lights are really important for me. This one's my favorite. This one is my favorite because it clips directly onto my phone. So I don't have to manage a light and my phone. I just clip it on and I'm able to either illuminate me and my dog if we're here, or I can just illuminate my dog, or I can illuminate whatever it is I'm showing. If you are somebody who's a content creator, you might be educating, you might be doing vlog style, lifestyle content, and you need to illuminate their food bowl, or you need to illuminate the bag of food that you're going to be using, or you need to illuminate their toys, something in that commercialized piece of content that you're creating, and you need just a little bit of extra light. I love this one because it is white-based. It also has an yellow-based option, and it has a mixture of them both. And you can go different intensity levels with this so it matches whatever you need, and it charges by USB. So it's really easy just to recharge this and go. And again, it clips right onto your phone. Now, I have seen other versions of this. I've seen cheaper versions of this, but they are directly correlated to how much light you're going to get. This one's really good. This is very affordable. It's not expensive at all. It's not cheap, but it's not expensive. And some of the ones that I have gotten cheaper ones from like TikTok Shop and things like that. Lighting's not great. It's not worth the couple of bucks you pay for it. So this one is the one that I do recommend, but there's other styles as well. I do like this tiny little pocket light. You can see the difference in the size. It has a hot shoe mount, so you can attach this directly to your camera if you're going to be using that. It has some gels that you can switch out. And then it has different versions and different intensities as well. So you have the ability to handhold this to do whatever you need to do. If you're trying to take a picture of your dog where you've got your dog posed and there's a wall behind them, you can illuminate the wall behind them so you get rid of those shadows without this going to show in your photos because it's teeny tiny. Even if you have a teeny tiny dog, their body's going to block it. And speaking of putting things behind your dogs, I also really like this light. This light is really nice because it comes with a white base. And it also has built-in colors. So you can either do steady colors or you can set up different versions where it's going to flash through it. So I like to do typically the steady color, and it creates a look like this. So if you put this behind your dog, you have the ability to dye your walls different colors. Or if you just want to be like really edgy and trendy, you can use this as a key light. So it is like a hair light or a rim light, and you just put it, this is going to look a little weird because it's flashing, but you can kind of see how if you do it behind your dog from a higher height, it gives that little bit of color on the side. I can't get my arm back far enough to do this properly, but if this was not flashing, you would see I would be illuminated and my hair would be lit much differently. So you can either do this shining directly at your camera source if your dog is small enough and your light source is powerful enough, or you can dye the wall behind them. There are options. There are so many options. And I like this because I can use this as just the white base light to illuminate us, or I can use it in the colorful version to do backgrounds. There's a lot that I can be doing. And again, if you're doing like lifestyle content and you're going to be filming their dog bowl and their food and their toy and their stuff, you can add a kick of color so that it looks even higher end. There's a lot that you can do. There's a lot of value with that. Now, if you are somebody who is a content creator, the next one is definitely for you. It's not necessarily if you're just documenting your dog's life, right? Because your dog doesn't speak, but you do. Have you guessed what this is yet? It's a microphone. Microphones are incredibly helpful. I have worked with this particular company. I'll link them down below for you for a few years now. They sent me several of their products. I can't say enough good things. They're really, really nice. You can clip this onto your shirt if you are going to be educating. So if you're speaking or if you're having conversations direct to camera, this is going to eliminate a lot of the ambient noise. If you're in a store or if you're in a restaurant, or if you're in public walking around, it eliminates a lot of that. It also eliminates a lot of the wind if you have one of the windscreens on it. And I actually have the dual version of this. Now, most of you probably won't need that, but if you're doing interviews, if you're going to like dog expos, if you are somebody who is doing interviews with a guest, you may want the dual version of this so that you can have clear audio. And the benefit of this is no matter how far back you are going from your camera source, you're able to speak into the camera clearly. So if you're a dog trainer or you're a vet or you're showing us stuff where you're going to be up close to your camera source and then further away from your camera source, your audio is not going to change levels. You know, we've all watched videos on YouTube where somebody is up close talking and then they move further away to demonstrate something. And even though they're shouting, we have a drastically different audio level. This fixes that. You can walk hundreds of feet away and still be picked up on audio, which is fantastic. So I always carry these around with me. I have the dual version. I actually have this version, which is a little bit fancier, and it's not less professional, but it's like a light version of it. So it's not quite as expensive. And they're dual. So I can attach this to me and I can hand one to my guest and they go into the same port on my phone. They just plug right into my phone's jack and I am able to then get audio from both sources without having to manipulate anything. They are even across the board between whoever I'm interviewing and me. So this is a game changer. I take it to all events that I go to, and I usually have this in my bag with me when I'm out and about so that I can get good, clear, easy, simple audio. Now, if you are a content creator, you can also do an expandable or a collapsible tripod. I'd love to take that with me. That is my go-to when I'm balancing my phones out to create content, but it's not always effective for me to take with me. So I have a purse that's big enough to accommodate my collapsible tripods. I just take it when I know I'm going to be creating content. So if I'm just going out to do things, if I'm just going for a walk in the park, I don't necessarily take those with me. I'll use the smaller phone mounts. But if I know that I'm going to be filming something and it's going to be a higher source, I will absolutely put that in my bag and carry that with me. It's not an everyday thing. It is a when I know things are coming, then I'll use it thing. So as a content creator, as somebody who is documenting your dog's life, as somebody who is creating videos and photos for your pups so that you can look back over the years so that you can send to friends and family or to use on social media, you want to make sure you're elevating your content creation. And these couple pieces of technology, which are all, except for the microphones, very, very cost effective. The microphone's a little bit higher because quality is directly proportional to what you pay for those microphones. Don't get the cheap ones. It is not worth it. You want to make sure you've got some of these things just to elevate your content and make it a little bit easier so you can spend your time interacting with your dog, having fun, doing all the stuff, and getting the quality content that you are going to want in the future. Now, again, we teach you how to create quality content in literal seconds to minutes every single day here on the channel. So follow along for more professional photographer and videographer of really long time. I'm much older than I look. And so I've got lots of tips, lots of tricks, lots of things that you can be doing. Feel free to drop your questions down below and follow along for daily videos helping you navigate the world of being a dog parent to make this your best life with your pup ever. We'll see you in the upcoming episodes.